Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to take a look at another, little batch of celebrations cards that have gone and been revealed. And of course, we tend to see this now on a weekly basis. Pokemon over in Japan are going and revealing these new cards, and I, for one, am rather happy about them. Now, the new card here is Lunala, but don't worry, we have got plenty to chat about, despite the fact we saw Lunala the other day. We'll get there in a moment, but first, I want to talk about Tapu Lele. Now, as it looks at the moment, this is the most recent of these 25th anniversary cards that are being released. Of course, these are old reprints of really classic cards, which have essentially been reprinted in the 25th anniversary style. As always, usual rule here, these do not have a regulation mark. They are not legal for tournament play. That is, frankly, rather important. Which is annoying, right? Because Tapu Lele, not all of these classic cards I would say this about. In fact, most of them I wouldn't. But I think it is absolutely fair to say straight off the bat that if Tapu Lele was legal for tournament play today, it would instantly be played in so many decks. It is a frankly over-the-top, ridiculous, phenomenal card. So let's start there. The other usual thing to note is that over in Japan, you buy packs of the 25th anniversary set, and for every 4 packs of the 25th anniversary set, you get yourself a 1-pack booster pack, which will get you one of these 25th anniversary cards, which, could end up being Tapu Lele. Over here, they are just seeded into regular packs of celebrations, but as I've said numerous times, we do not know what the pull rates are going to be. And that is really important, because if the pull rates are high, I'm going to buy so many celebrations. And if they're not high, I'm going to probably open what I pre-ordered and then not order anymore. For those of you, I know some of you have had real trouble pre-ordering celebrations up till now. I have seen pre-orders go up at numerous stores and stay available for a while. So I wouldn't worry too much. Yes, I know that they are selling out, but they're gonna be reprinted, and that's an important thing to note. So, Tapu Lele then. This was just an absolute over-the-top, phenomenal, amazing card when it came out. And for the entire time it was legal, it was one of those cards that never got bad. It wasn't good, but then after a while, people kind of soured on it. It was just always good. You play it from your hand to your bench, use a wonder-tag ability, search for any supporter card, put it into your hand. Plus, it is a basic Pokemon, so it's easily searched out. If we still had it nowadays, Quick Ball for Tapu Lele, turn 1 for a supporter card, would be an extremely popular play. You would see that all the time, especially on turn 1. And it's the ridiculous consistency, making sure that you've always got that turn 1 Professor's Research. It's making sure that you could always find that Marnie when your opponent has a good hand, when they search for a bunch of cards, drawn a bunch of cards, etc. And then it's silly little things like back in the day, Ace Roller was a phenomenal card, and Ace Roller let you pick up one of your damaged Pokemon and put it into your hand. But you didn't want to play 4 Ace Roller to make sure you drew into it at the right time, because you only needed it occasionally. So Tapu Lele to find that Ace Roller was just a phenomenal play, and I could keep going. It got you consistency in terms of making sure you can draw cards, but then it also allowed you to draw into your one-off supporters so much more easily. It was just a phenomenal card. Now, interestingly enough, it had basically the same attack as the Mewtwo EX, which we talked about is also getting a 25th anniversary reprint. The thing is, it didn't hit for weakness, and we were in a different format, so basically, never ended up being a great attacker. Now, don't get me wrong, it wasn't a bad attacker. You could still pile energy on and smash with energy drive, but it was a nice little handy bonus. It was, your opponent would, on the first turn of the game, attach a basic energy to a 60 HP Pokemon. and then you would attach a double colorless energy and get a turn 1 KO with Tapu Lele. I saw that happen a weirdly large amount of times, but it was never really about the attack. It did have a GX attack incidentally that healed all damage from 2 of your bench Pokemon. Fine, I suppose, but nah. I mean, it got played in some decks with Psychic Energy, but to be perfectly clear, that is not why you play Tapu Lele. And then I feel like we need to have a chat about, and I try going through this every time, we need to have a little chat about whether this was the right decision. Whether Tapu Lele was the GX they should have chosen, and to put it bluntly, yes. Yes, they should. There are some decisions which I am not 100% in favour of, I think is the polite way to put it. But this is absolutely the right decision. This had to happen. This is a phenomenal GX that absolutely defined the format. Gardevoir that we talked about the other day, there were better literally little EXs, and there were even better Gardevoir. There was a Gardevoir that defined the format. This wasn't it. But I'll be perfectly honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, if you wanted to take a GX that was an iconic GX that defined the format, etc., and you wanted to go and whack that in a 25th anniversary set, yeah, there are other good GXs out there, but I think this may well have been the actual best choice. So whoever's choosing these cards, good work. Tapu Lele was an excellent, excellent choice. Now, we have been re-shown that Lunala. Lunala, of course, was revealed a couple of weeks ago when they did that. Well, they did that lovely little thing whereby you could actually win. You could win a playmat. A Lily and Lunala playmat for Pokemon Masters could be won by entering a sweepstakes. Just so long as you didn't live in Europe. Boo! Because seriously, this playmat is amazing. It's the kind of playmat I would have bought, but except I couldn't buy it, I could only win it, and I couldn't win it because I live in Europe. Boo! So we talked about that Lunala the other day. We don't need to go and have a huge chat about it. What I will say is that what it basically does for 2 colorless energy is double the amount of damage counters that are on all of your opponent's Pokemon. And I do think that is a really, really interesting attack in a bunch of decks, although please do remember it's on a stage 2, so it's not going to be the easiest one to tech in, but it's one that I've got my eye on as a fun little tech if you can consistently get the stage 2 out, and that is, of course, a pretty gosh darn huge if. But we don't need to spend a huge amount of time talking about this. We covered it in a previous video. I will link that video in the description. I just want to talk about Cosmoem and Cosmog for a moment. And before we get to the attacks, I just want to point out, look how gosh darned beautiful the artwork is. And if we line up all 3 of these cards, including Lunala, you'll notice that you've got Lily letting Nebby out the bag. And if you've played the Gen 7 games, you'll know. And then you've got the Cosmoem sleeping with Lily with that wonderful artwork. And we do have the same artist there. And when we're doing the whole story thing, I really want it to be, the same artist all the way along. And then we finish off with Lunala properly grown up and flying along as Lily's looking wistfully out over some kind of cliff or whatever. And it's wonderful. And you've got Kirasaki doing the artwork for all 3 of the cards. It really is absolutely wonderful, and I am absolutely loving it. Now, they've actually both got the same attack that for 1 colorless energy lets you flip a coin, and if heads, you prevent all damage from attacks done to this Pokemon during your next turn. And I am not going to sit here and start pretending this is amazing. It's not. But I absolutely am going to sit here and tell you that if you're looking to build up a stage 2 Pokemon, what you need a lot of the time is time to try and make sure that you can actually get that stage 2 Pokemon into play. So this is phenomenal. I love it. I don't think you really want to be leaving one of these in the active, flipping coins and crossing your fingers. But I think that if you've got nothing else going on, and you've got a chance to flip a coin, and if heads, rather than losing that evolving Pokemon you really need, you get to keep it around for a turn and deny your opponent a prize and buy yourself one more turn to start evolving up. Yeah, this is really good. Again, not saying it's a reason to play the card, but I'm saying if you are going to go ahead and play Lunala anyway, I think you could do an awful lot worse than having this as an attack on both the evolving Pokemon. Honestly, if nothing else, who doesn't want to have a page in their binder where they've got all three of these cards lined up left to right? I know I do, and I'm willing to bet all of you do as well. So even if you're not loving the cards, and like I've said, I do think that Lunala has quite a lot of potential as a finisher in a spread deck, you've got to love that artwork. It is wonderful. So we had seen the Lunala before, but I think adding the Cosmog and Cosmoem was absolutely worth doing, and seeing Tapu Lele come back. Firstly, it's lovely seeing it back. Secondly, this is one of those ones, and I said it a moment ago and I'll say it again, and I mean this sincerely, if they release that card right now, it would see play. I would play it. It would be amazing. But now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.